Hi, I'm Pat and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about tires on the BMW i8. If you're new to the channel, please consider clicking the subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications for more BMW i8 content. Today we have the BMW i8 jacked up on the quick jacks, and if you're interested in learning more about the quick jacks and how I use them with this car, please see the link in the description below. I put aftermarket tires on my car. These are not the tires that came with the car, but I do have those tires. So let's take these tires off the car and compare them to what originally came with the BMW i8. Now that my wheel and aftermarket tire are off the car, I can compare it with the stock rim and tire that originally came with the car. I changed up these W-style rims for the turbine rims that are currently on the car. They're still a stock rim, but I went ahead and changed up the tire. These are Potenza S001 tires, sizes 245/40/R20. The tires that I decided to put on the car are Continental ExtremeContact DWS06. Now I plus sized these tires by 30 millimeters. And I also changed the profile from 40 to 35 so that the actual tire size itself wasn't too high and would throw off the speedometer. Looking at the cross-section between the two tires, we can see some obvious differences. This tire isn't as wide as this one. This is 30 millimeters wider with 5% lower profile in order to match the ride height. However, there are some other key differences between these two tires. Number one, this is a summer-only tire. This is an all-season dry, wet, snow tire, thus the DWS in DWS06. And you can look at the tread pattern. You can tell that this is definitely a summer tire. It's also very good in the rain, but it's not good in the snow. This tire, in comparison, if we look, there are sipes in here to handle with snow and ice. Not many, but there are some there. It's clearly an all-season tire because of how it's designed. Summer tire, all-season tire. So you would think, Pat, why are you going with an all-season tire on a performance car like the BMW i8? Clearly it's going to be better on these summer tires. Well, no. These are quieter tires. What I mean by that is you can almost never hear this tire on any type of road surface, whereas with certain types of concrete and rougher blacktop, you can actually hear these tires. So there is some tire noise, but it's very acceptable because the BMW i8 has excellent sound deadening so that you can't really hear that much inside the cabin from the outside, which is awesome. These I can live with, but they also ride a little bit harder. These are truly a softer tire, they're a lighter tire, and they absorb a little bit more impact. These tires, I definitely feel the road more, so that means two things. I feel like I'm semi in sport mode because we get some stiffening of the shocks when we're in sport mode. But secondly, I actually feel the road more. I get more feedback in the steering wheel because of these tires. Also, this car has a tendency to oversteer. It's one of the earlier BMW i8s. They did make some changes to the steering system in the i8, so later on, I think 2018, 19, 20. So this earlier 2015 model, when you're driving it on these tires, these stock tires, it feels like you're driving a video game. There's almost no feedback in the steering wheel at all. And in fact, you can make some small minor corrections with the steering wheel and the car seems to want to dart left and right very quickly. Did not like that. So when I switched to these other tires, I actually had better feedback from the front tires. Now, the front tires are also the same material and they are a different size than the rear because these are offset tires, but I did plus 30 millimeters and minus 5% profile on these tires as well. So far, so good. But let's take a look at the difference between wear on this tire and this tire. Now, when I purchased this vehicle, these tires in the rear had been changed out at 6,000 miles. When I bought the vehicle, around 10,500, I thought I eventually want to change the tires out. So at 16,000, I made the choice to switch out to these tires. We're now at 26,000 miles on the clock on this vehicle. So this tire has been on the road the exact same amount of time as this tire. and it may have gone through similar conditions. I don't know what the previous owner did with this tire, but it does have the same amount of time on each tire. Let's look at tread. I picked up a tread gauge, and you can find a link to this in the description below. I carry this with me. It's actually a good tool. I measure my tires whether I'm buying another car and I want to verify that the tires are the correct depth or they're starting to get worn out. It helps in negotiation. The less tread you have in the tire, the indication that you're yellow or red is an immediate sign that these tires are either on their way out or should be replaced. So I'm going to go ahead and use this tool to go ahead and check the depth. It's real easy. You just place it right in the middle of the channel and push down, and you can see what the reading is. Now, let me take a look here off camera. This is showing 5/32 or 4 millimeters of tread, and that's in the middle of the tire. Now I'm going to reset the tool, so I'll just push it down a little bit. Let's come over to this tire, and we're going to go right around the middle of this tire if we can and check the tread depth here. And we're showing 9/32 of tread in the middle, or 7 millimeters of tread. So these tires have exactly the same amount of miles on them. Why is this tire wearing out quicker than this tire? Well, two things. Number one, this tire from factory comes with 8/32 of tread on it. This tire from factory comes with 10/32 of tread on it. Why is there reduced tread on this tire? Low rolling resistance and noise. The less tread that there is on a tire when it's manufactured, if it's smooth, will produce less noise on the road. This tire is actually going to wear out quicker no matter what because it has 8/32 of tread on it when it's new. 5/32 versus 9/32, there's still a 4/32 difference. If this tire was truly as good at wear as this tire, they should only be off by 2/32, not 4. So this tire will wear out much quicker. Another issue I have with this tire is it's expensive. I'll have a link in the description to the cost that I was quoted for 4 of these tires versus 4 of these tires. These tires were cheaper, they last longer, and they actually give me a more enjoyable ride. They're fun to drive in, and I can drive them in any conditions, dry, wet, or snow. So I highly recommend these tires. There's only one issue I have with them. And that issue is that the rear tires, not the front, will flat spot. When you park it overnight and you drive it the next day, you'll feel some bumps for about a mile or two and then it will go away. So I have to deal with this little bumpiness in the back. Other than that, I have nothing bad to say about them. Of course, I only have 10,000 miles on these tires, so I'm going to have to come back later on and give an updated review when they're getting closer to being worn out, just to see how I like them. And finally, another really cool feature about these DWS tires is they have DW and S imprinted in the tread. And that is because when you hit a certain depth, one of these will go away. So for example, you'll hit a depth and the S will go away. That means that this tire is no longer good for use in snow. It can be used in snow, but it's not recommended. It will not give you the traction that you look forward to when driving in snow. Same goes with the W and the D. So I will have to keep an eye on these indicators as well as the tread depth to decide when it's time to replace these tires. This effectively ends today's video. If you like this information, please give me a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and ring that bell for notifications. Thanks for watching and happy motoring.